Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 1,000 pounds, Sisters Amy Halterman's eyes. Is she really blind? 1,000 pounds. Sisters fans notice something has always been a little off with Amy Halterman's eyes. Does she have some sort of medical condition? Is she able to see alright? What exactly is wrong with them? Fans of the TLC star have a whole wealth of questions regarding her eye health. Keep reading, and we'll share everything we know about Amy Halterman's eyes. Amy Halterman has an eye condition. The 1,000 pounds. Sisters star opened up about her eye condition in a YouTube video from 2015. She revealed that she had a condition called toxoplasmosis. What is toxoplasmosis? According to the Mayo Clinic, toxoplasmosis is a disease that stems from an infection. This particular infection is found in either contaminated food or cat feces. Toxoplasmosis can cause a wealth of complications for a pregnant woman. The infection can also be passed from mother to child during pregnancy. In her YouTube video, Amy Halterman explains that toxoplasmosis is something she's had her entire life. So, 1,000 pounds. Sisters fans assume this eye condition was something her mother passed from her at birth. Amy Halterman kicked off her video explaining that she was taking a little time to talk about herself. She noted the video would have nothing to do with her sister Tammy Slayton. She wanted to give people information on just her for a change. The video cuts out for a moment before cutting back in as Amy Halterman reveals she wears glasses. She gets Social Security because she's blind. Amy Halterman continued to explain there has always been this assumption by people that she gets Social Security because she's overweight. She, however, clarifies her vision is why she actually gets Social Security. Because of her eye condition, she's legally blind. Naturally, 1,000 pounds. Sisters fans wonder why Amy Halterman would wear glasses if she's blind. She continued to explain her glasses were basically safety glasses. She also wore them to prevent eye strain. Amy explains her condition is commonly referred to as scars of the eyes. The 1,000 pounds. Sisters star continued to explain why one of her eyes will be straight while the other one wanders. Turns out, this is partly because she is blind. And partly because she has astigmatism in her eye. Amy Halterman explains she has one good eye and one that goes wonky. Getting a bit emotional, she admits she was made fun of a lot as a child because of her eyes. You can watch the nearly 10-minute video of Amy Halterman explaining what's wrong with her eyes in the YouTube video down below. Just keep in mind this video is from 2015. There's a gravity to a gaze that pulls you in. The quiet kind that keeps you from scrolling past, that makes you pause and listen. Amy Halterman's eyes do that on camera. They are raw, honest, tired, amused. An unblinking ledger of late nights, hospital waits, and moments that don't fit the tidy boxes of television. Which is precisely why the question keeps surfacing in comment threads and whispering around water coolers. Is she really blind? Let's be plain. This piece is a creative exploration, not an autopsy of someone's medical history. It's a small attempt to hold the rumor up to the light and see what it casts. Amy is a person who exists beyond the pixels and punchlines. But rumors, even the smallest, have the slippery habit of growing legs. So we'll walk them out gently, imaginatively, and see where they take us. On screen, Amy's eyes tell stories before her mouth opens. There's a softness there, a kind of weathered clarity. The way someone looks at a place they've been 1,000 times and still find new things in the cracks. When a doctor enters the frame, her pupils tighten in a quick, precise way. When a family member jokes, her lids light up like porch lights. The camera loves empathy, and empathy loves Amy. But empathy is not a diagnostic. If we were to set this up like a detective story, the evidence would be anecdotal and scattered. A close-up that lingers longer than usual. A line somewhere, maybe a confessional, where she mentions vision problems and the editing swallows the specifics. A fan's social media note that the way she navigates a room seems different. None of these are proof. They are the crumbs we get in the age of reality TV. Tantalizing, interpretable, unreliable. The more interesting thing is not whether Amy meets a clinical definition of blindness, but what blindness as a word does in our culture. It's an absolute, sight/no sight, night/day, black/white. But lived vision is almost never absolute. People live with partial sight, peripheral loss, light sensitivity, cataracts, macular changes, and conditions that make bright lights feel like punches. Some spin their limitations into character. Others keep them private. Some reveal them casually. Some never mention them at all. Reality TV tends toward the dramatic and the digestible. a problem when human nuance is in play. So imagine, purely imaginatively, Amy at home. A morning where the sunlight slants across the bedroom, and for a second everything is glare. She squints, reaches for the phone with practiced accuracy, and jokes about morning battle with the brightness. Or imagine a night at a hospital, fluorescent light humming over the linoleum, and her focusing on the small things. The sound of a ventilator, the texture of a robe, because those senses are sharper and steadier than the uncertain edges of distant objects. Those scenes make for good television because they're honest, not because they fit a diagnostic checkbox. There's also the social choreography of being perceived as visually impaired. People around you adjust in tiny ways. They describe what they see more often. They step into your path with restraint, they assume. Sometimes those adjustments become the story. An offhand kindness becomes a headline. A person can be treated as less capable without anyone saying the words. Assumptions do that work for them. On that note, the comment sections are a funhouse mirror. One user makes a serious observation about Amy's wink reflex. Another launches into a conspiracy about staged vulnerability. The truth is rarely lived in extremes. If Amy's vision has changed over time, it might be a line of quiet adaptations, bolder text on a phone, a rearranged kitchen, a friend who walks with her to the car. None of it is a scandal. None of it needs to be. There's also a performative element to consider. Cameras and lighting can flatten or dramatize features. A studio light placed just so can wash out details, making eyes appear glassy or distant. Makeup can brighten or shadow. Element to consider. Cameras and lighting can flatten or dramatize features. A studio light placed just so can wash out details, making eyes appear glassy or distant. Makeup can brighten or shadow. Editing can cut seconds into meaning. The machinery of reality television is expert at manufacturing narrative from the smallest human flinch. So some of what viewers interpret as evidence could be, quite literally, the product of production values. But perhaps we're circling the wrong question. The viral query, is she really blind? Is itself a reflection of our hunger for a simple verdict? We want to know because labels are useful. They explain, categorize, make us feel like we understand. Yet the most humane answer may be to resist that hunger. To treat Amy not as a curiosity that requires confirmation, but as a person with a life that includes, among 100 other things, her eyes. If Amy has chosen to speak publicly about vision issues, that is her story to tell. If she hasn't, withholding a diagnosis can be a boundary, and boundaries matter on shows built to mine personal detail. Part of the ethical discomfort of reality TV is its appetite for private life. Viewers forget that the reality on screen is curated, not catalogued. Curiosity should meet consent, speculation should meet restraint. We can also imagine another kinder reality, a fan reaching out with a question, Amy responding with a candid video about what she experiences and how she navigates the world, subtle tips, a laugh, maybe a moment that clarifies more than 1,000 comments. She tells us about the ways light hits differently now, or about an appointment that changed everything, or about nothing at all, because sometimes there's no dramatic reveal, just life, quietly lived. In the end, the eyes are a threshold. They let us in and keep some things out. They are also a screen on which viewers project their fears, their compassion, their need for storyline. Amy Halterman's gaze draws attention because it's human, and we should expect that from a person who invites the public into her ordinary and extraordinary moments. So is she really blind? The creative answer is both yes and no. Yes, if blindness means the stories we read in her expression, the nights of worry, the relief of small comforts, the resilience pressed into the corners of her lids. No, if blindness means a binary medical verdict handed down by a stranger in a comment thread. The more useful truth is quieter. Amy's eyes do what eyes do. They hold experience, resistance, humor, and fatigue, and they deserve to be seen with the nuance those things require. If curiosity persists, let it be guided by empathy. Ask, don't assume. Listen, don't diagnose. And if, one day, Amy chooses to tell the story of her vision in her own words, we'll be wiser not only for the facts but for the reminder that a person's life is not a gossip column waiting to be confirmed. It's a living narrative, and eyes are only the opening line.